Welcome to One Chemistry. Always try to do your best. Now, let us see about 100 conversion in organic chemistry. We are seeing it as episodes. This is the episode number 122. If you didn't watch previous episodes, I encourage you to go and see. Here, we solve 5 problems step by step. Stay tuned. Let us see the question number 1. Starting middle is the fused system attached with benzene and cyclohexane. You have hydroxylamine. You are using acidic condition. They ask you to find the product. The products can be ring open one or ring expand one. Ring opening mean whether it is acid or amine or cyanide or alcohol, or ring expansion mean it is amide, which is N attachment to the ring or the C attachment to the ring. So from the reactant to product you might guess naming reaction is involved and the competition between expansion versus ring opening is there. The answer is B. Let us see how. The starting metal you are having hydroxylamine, you are using the acid. Acid makes OH as a good leaving group as a water there. So OH2 formation with cation, so it has to be quant. So trans group of carbon migrates there. This is called Beckmann rearrangement. Quenching of charges lead to this kind of rearrangement. Always trans group migrate. This is a very important one. Trans group migrates. You have new 7-member ring, which is ring expansion is there. Since 1-3 bonds are broken, you have cation at 3. If you read it nicely, you have 7-member ring with third position cation. Next step you are attacking with water again. It's a OH minus attack. So you have OH there. OH near the double bond leads to heteroenol tautomerism. You have stable heteroform, which is answer B. Here you have to learn two important things. One is Beckmann rearrangement. Beckmann rearrangement converts hydroxylamine into amide. Second thing is migrating ability. In Beckmann rearrangement always trans group migrates there. Then the question number 2. The starting metal is a ketone, one side attached with bromine, another side phenyl, methyl and bromine. You are using sodium methoxide and methanol. They ask you to find the product. You have 4 products. 4 products are differ in the double bond. Double bond whether it has methyl on the first position or second position or just a continuous benzyl attachment. So there are the 4 possibilities. From the haloketone and base you might guess it's a naming reaction and the ester formation occurred here. The answer is A. Let us see how. The starting metal you are having alpha hydrogen, which is the acidic one. You are using the base. Base subtract the proton, you have an anion formation. So anion is there, bromine is there. Bromine is a very good leaving group. So anion attack bromine, it forms 3-member ring. The reaction is called Favorsky reaction. It forms 3-member ketonic ring. Next step you are using the base. Base attacks the carbonyl. You have new OC bond. Then the charge is there. Charge has to be quant. So the ring is open. Ring can open on either side, but it open on phenyl side because phenyl stabilizes the anion there. So the ring is open on phenyl side. Still it has anion. How the anion will quench? Anion quenches the double bond. Bromine leaves. You have new double bond formation. So if you read it nicely, you have the answer A. Here you have to learn two important things. One is Favorsky reaction. If you see the haloketone, you might think of Favorsky reaction. The product is the ester there. Second thing is bromine is the good leaving group. All these steps are involved in the bromine leaving. All the reaction is controlled by bromine. Then the question number 3. The starting metal is cyclohexene and it attached with acid. You are using iodine and sodium bicarbonate and water. They ask you to find the product. All the products are ring closed and ester formation and they asked the stereochemistry of ester and iodine. Whether iodine is above the plane or ester is above the plane or syn and anti position. From the reactant to product you might guess regioselective ring closure is occurred here. The answer is B. Let us see how. The starting metal you are having acid and cyclohexane. So you can imagine it in chair form. So you redraw to the chair form with acid. Next step, you are reacting with iodine. Iodine form 3-member ring there. Here you can write COH above or below the plane or axial or equatorial. End result will be same. Next step, you are using the iodine. Iodine attack the double bond. It form iodinium ion. So it form 3-member ring. Next step, you are using the base. Base subtract the proton. You have the anion formation. So you have the anion. Anion has to be quenched. Anion attacks the ring, which is strain full iodine ring. The ring is open. The ring open on either way, but favorably on A position because of its distance as well as 5-member ring formation. So 5-member ring in the heterocyclic system is stable, but in cyclohexane 6-member is stable. So you have the product COO above the plane, iodine below the plane. You draw back to normal form. You got iodine below the plane, ester above the plane, which is answer B. Here you have to know two important things. Whenever you see cyclohexane, you have to imagine always on chair form. Second thing is ring opening. The driving force for ring opening is most of the time strain. Here strain promote the ring opening by COO minus. Then the question number 4. The starting metal is alkene attached with aldehyde, another side on methoxide and phenyl. You have titanium tetrachloride and copper zinc, and you are having HCl and water. They ask you to find the product. The product seems to be dimerized. You have two ketones there. So you have to imagine new carbon-carbon bond is formed, how it forms. Whether double bonds are retained, whether double bonds are conjugated, or just a single bond. From the reactant aldehyde and titanium tetrachloride and copper zinc couple, you might guess it's a naming reaction, and definitely carbon-carbon bond is formed there. The answer is D. Let us see how. The starting metal you are having carbonyl, you are using titanium tetrachloride, so it's a McMurray coupling. It's a kind of dimerization, but it forms the oxygen elimination with alkene formation. Here simply you can say 2CO group converted to CC bond, which is alkene there. So here I shown with color, oxygens are removed, you have new CC bond formation, which is alkene there. Next step, you are hydrolyzing it. Hydrolyzing leads to the OMe elimination, which leads to alcohol. So alcohol is there, hetoenol tautomerism, you have ketone there. So the answer is clearly alkene with diketone. Here you have learned two important things. One is McMurray coupling. McMurray coupling coupled the carbonyl carbon, you converted into alkene there. Second thing is hetoenol tautomerism. If you have alcohol and alkene, you might always think of hetoenol tautomerism. Most of the time answers are twisted with hetoenol tautomerism, so you have to be observant on that. Then the question number 5. The starting metal is haloketone, which is cyclic ketone. You are using base and alcohol. Here they given the 4 products, which is isotoped 1. So they label the carbon, which carbon is where. So whether the ester formation with the carbon and carbonyl or on the ring, or just a 6-member ring formation with the ester formation. So basically the ester formation and the ring opening possibility are not. From the haloketone and ester formation, you might think it's a naming reaction, and definitely rearrangement is occurred here. The answer is C. Let us see how. The starting metal you are having alpha haloketone, it has active hydrogen. So active hydrogen removed from the system, which form anion. Anion attack the chlorine. Because chlorine is a very good leaving group, you have new 3-member ring formation. Next step, you are using ETO. ETO attack the carbonyl, it form ester possibility. The O minus try to quench, so the ring has to be opened there. The ring can be opened in A way and B way, both are equal possibilities because there is no stabilizing factor. So ring is open on either side, you have isotopes near to the carbon as well as the ester carbon. So the A break, B break leads to the answer C. Here you have to learn two important things. One is Favorsky rearrangement. If you look at the haloketone, you might think of Favorsky rearrangement. It converts ketone into ester there. Second thing is mechanism. You have to master the mechanism to find the isotopes. That's all from this episode. I hope it was easy. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestion, comment below. Stay tuned for next episode.